In this video, we're going to demonstrate the fully automatic punch application. The PEP Punch software runs automatically. There are no parameters to set. The software performs every programming task automatically to produce finished jobs like the one on the screen in minutes while unattended. Creating a punch program begins in the PEP bullet screen. Drawings and quantities can be entered multiple ways automatically. After verifying the part names, the user presses F1 and they are done. In this video, the processing is being done in a semi-automatic mode so that the user can follow the processing that is done while running in the fully automatic mode. I will go ahead and press F1. So at this point, we're going to be using the nesting logic that is developed specially for our punching application. Notice that we have the longer parts are grouped for common parting, but the parts that are different are spaced at a little different spacing because we have large 4/4 tools in the corners and radius tools and things like that. I'd also like to point out that the nesting logic takes into account for gridding. So you'll see the yellow parts there are gridded in groups of 4, sometimes they're groups of 6, so that we can take full advantage of the 4-corner radius tools. The smaller little purple parts in the upper left-hand corner, those fall within a range that would fit down the trap door. So we've created our nest, and I will point out this is fully lights out unattended. I haven't touched this. The software will pause for 5 seconds every time it comes to a tooling solution to give you a chance to interact with it. So it's going from subplate 1, 2, I think we're on subplate 2, and we've got our tooling solution. We're going to advance to the repositioning module where we're automatically placing down the hold downs, doing the repositions for full sheet sizes, and sequencing. I'd also like to point out, and we'll look at this nest when we're finished, I think we have one more to go, is that we are also automatically tabbing, and we're using tabbing tools, and we're doing it in 3 different scenarios. One scenario would be a corner tab where we apply a parting tool. We use the parting tool and we come just short in the corners. The second scenario would be the outside of a common parted group, which we would use a trapezoid if you have one. And then in between the common parted tools, we're using what we call a bow tie tab. All right, we're almost down to our last plate here. This is just the last subplate of the balance of the parts, and of course the 5 seconds to interact. So, one of the important things to remember is that you could set this up for 2, 3, 4 jobs at a time, walk away. It could be at the end of the day. You could let this run fully unattended and come in the morning and review the programs. They'll be fully, the tooling solutions will be completed, the repositioning, the posted programs, the reports, the quote. So at this point, we're done. We're calculating and pulling inventory and putting it on the schedule. So it takes a few seconds. There's quite a few hits on this particular job. If we take a look at this plate, you'll notice the 3 scenarios of tabbing that were fully automatically applied. You have your corner tab where we use the parting tool. We have the outside boundary of the group of common parted tools. Now, if you own a trapezoid, we will automatically apply it. If you don't, and you only have the bow tie, we will apply the bow tie on the outside. This is the bow tie, which maximizes sheet integrity. So we're doing that fully automatically. If we look over here, I'd like to point out that we're automatically applying special tools. We're applying the 4/4 radius tool. Now, in a scenario right in this corner, obviously we can't use the 4-corner because it would impede into the part. So as a last resort, we use a contouring tool, which would be a small round tool that's dedicated for nibbling and contouring. I also would like to point out that the logic here, the tabs We understand that there is an overhit on the four corners, and we pull these tabs back. So it's not at the geometry where the arc meets the straight line of the part. We're identifying the overhit in your four corner and then pulling back the required amount for the tab. And you can see, of course, that we're applying the bow tie here. We're clearing. We don't have a tool that's exactly this rectangle, so we're automatically clearing and destructing all of the internals here, and we're overhitting. You always want to overhit whenever possible. Parts here are not common parted. They have a tab in each corner so they can be twisted out, and because these parts would fall down the trap door. That completes our punch demonstration.